To find the next major state-level cyber attack, you no longer need to breach a classified server. You just need to listen. This is Social Audio Intelligence, or SOSINT, a frontier where hackers broadcast their targets and timelines live on platforms like X Spaces. Navigating this landscape requires a specific type of observer. Alberto Daniel Hill is a meta-analyst who monitors these decentralized rooms, bridging the gap between underground chatter and actionable intelligence. Alberto's perspective is shaped by a survival story. In 2017, he was wrongfully imprisoned for 17 months because a technologically illiterate justice system in Uruguay mistook his research gear for criminal tools. They saw a standard Raspberry Pi and labeled it a device for mass extortion. Surviving that institutional failure forced him to adopt a rigid standard for truth. In a lawless audio environment where anyone can claim to be a state-level threat, he relies only on what is mathematically verifiable. He operates as a digital knight. Alberto's work often begins by clicking into a session with hundreds of active listeners. These rooms are frequently characterized by intense, overlapping voices and high-velocity data exchange. In one instance, a mob known as the Cibercholos, or OPFES, spent hours doxing and verbally attacking a security figure named Hector Lopez. They flooded the space with technical accusations and private information, mocking his professional credentials in real time. This interpersonal hostility generates an overwhelming volume of raw data. The constant stream of insults and minor technical leaks serves as a distraction, drawing the attention of both the public and the authorities. This performative chaos masks the more dangerous activities occurring simultaneously. While the crowd focuses on the shouting match, sophisticated syndicates use the noise to hide the preparation of actual nation-state level attacks. Because Alberto experienced a system that assumes guilt, he operates with the knowledge that his forensic work must be perfect to be credible. He cannot afford to misinterpret a single log. He uses open-source intelligence and digital forensics to map the various factions. By tracking handle changes and technical signatures, he identifies which groups are merely seeking attention and which possess genuine capabilities. To preserve evidence from fleeting audio spaces, he utilizes high-assurance cryptographic standards like IAL3. This ensures a recording is structurally locked at capture. This makes data impossible to tamper with after the fact, transforming volatile conversations into forensic artifacts for legal settings. These protocols are the only way to separate the signal from the noise. They allow an analyst to ignore the trolls and focus on the specific data points that indicate a real threat is imminent. While mapping these networks, Alberto intercepted a transmission from a group called the Cronus Mafia. They weren't just bragging, they were discussing the logistics of an exfiltration attack against the Argentine government. Alberto responded by publishing a threat intelligence flash. He tagged official accounts to warn them that the syndicate had established a clear timeline for the breach. Shortly after, he hosted a space titled AI and Cybersecurity and Insecurity and Coffee. He intended to analyze the threat he had just flagged. The situation changed when the official account of the Cronus Mafia entered the room. They didn't speak immediately. They simply sat there as a silent listener, monitoring the analysis of their own threat. Instead of ending the session, Alberto invited the threat actors to the microphone, bypassing traditional gatekeeping to engage directly with the source of the danger. This led to a 10-minute dialogue that illustrates the reach of social audio. An independent analyst and an active cyber syndicate spoke on a public stage, visible to anyone with an internet connection. During this exchange, the Cronus member openly confessed to the Argentine hack. They provided details on the infrastructure's vulnerability, bypassing the sanitized channels usually managed by government press offices. The syndicate then performed an authority hijack. They retweeted Alberto's own forensic reports, using his reputation for technical rigor to validate their claims. They turned his expertise into their own ammunition. This audio footprint dismantled the official narrative. While the impacted governments issued statements downplaying the incident, the recorded confession provided a conflicting, verifiable reality for the public to hear. The confession was followed by kinetic results. Over 8 million lines of compromised government records, including police and central bank data, were dumped onto Telegram. State websites were defaced, displaying the "Hacked by Cronus" message. These visual confirmations proved the syndicate had achieved the infrastructural control they described in the audio space. Official institutions failed to detect the magnitude of these breaches, and in some cases chose not to report them. The gap between government statements and technical reality was absolute. This incident shows how cyber warfare is now conducted. Major attacks are announced and confirmed on decentralized social audio platforms, where the speed of information outpaces the ability of institutions to contain the narrative. In this environment, truth is no longer controlled by official bureaus. It is mediated by the digital knight, the independent analyst who survives judicial failure to provide the public with mathematically verifiable proof.